That dude from Call for an Uprising, he'd be so upset if he saw this bag. It's full of plastic Batman shit. You know, I know time is short and all that, but what if we have 10 years? You know what I mean? He makes a point of always, not always, I've only heard him talk about it a few times. He's like, yes, if you're one of these adults that buy action figures, stop that now. And it's like, in what? Buy fucking beans and ammo? The thing is, right, check this out. Yo, check this out. Unless you're, like, deep in the woods with a fucking compound, with a way to produce your own power, possibly, or near some water, or like a fresh water thing. I think they're called lakes and streams and fucking brooks and creeks. But unless you have that and like a nice setup where you can hold off invaders, what is extra beans gonna do for me? If what they're talking about, the kind of collapse like they're talking about, was to happen, the only thing that would be advantageous is if you're in the woods with a compound. Because other than that, you can stack all the beans you want. And yeah, I mean, you know, you can also have weaponry and stuff and all that. But what? It's not going to be like, it's going to be drastic, you know, so drastic in the way they're talking about, where it's just a collapse and there's roving gangs and, you know, there's no food anywhere. Me not buying this bag of plastic shit and instead stocking beans in my closet, I don't know. You know, I think it's good. Like, he's, you know, he's obviously saying the right thing, but you would have to have a substantial setup for yourself to remain independent in the event of something like a societal collapse on the level that a lot of these guys talk about. And, you know, it is fear-mongering, I get it. Especially some of those thumbnails. Holy shit, man. You and your family are already dead and you don't know it. There's a lot of that around, man. I get it. I think, you know, I think they're coming from a good place. I mean, yeah, there is the YouTube thing where they want to grow the channel and all that kind of stuff, which, I don't know, I think that kind of runs counter to a lot of this truth stuff. I mean, they always work under the guise, and I'm not saying this guy is, you know, anything. I'm just saying you should just worry about what you can contribute, like putting your words out there, your perspective out there. Anything else really isn't under your control, and when you try to gain it, as far as like, you know, analytically, like, you might as well just make a fucking, you know, car review channel or something. Like, what? It's a different thing. Some people are trying. Some people, I see some people that are in the truth schizo genre with these more sort of elaborate productions, and it just doesn't. To me, it gives it like a sort of it rings false, kind of. It's like, you know, even if they're not trying to be a grift or whatever, it seems like they are, you know. In fact, you know, my stuff, I put maybe too much. Well, all my editing is mainly just words on the screen, so I can make fun of myself, because, you know, a lot of it is fucking funny. But yeah, I don't know, like, if I thought there was something to denying myself this plastic shit, that would somehow, I mean, even, you know, I think about myself. I live in a city, and already that's like, whatever, you're kind of doomed. I know it's a kill zone, and they're always like, get out of the cities. Get out of the city. It's like, dude, not all of us have, like, the ability to do that. You know, I'm just making it here, you know, and this is the most expensive city in North America, though. I mean, that's a thing, too. But, yeah, even if I had the means, I'd have to move back to the mainland because this place isn't very big. You know, there's nowhere where you'd have to set up a compound with the staff and, you know, to fend off the kind of grisly situation that they describe, which, you know, it could happen. You know, you could have that situation, but unless you have money to pay for the turrets, the ammo, the turret ammo, you just buy your plastic shit, enjoy yourself. You know, at least that's the way I look at it. It's not a physical thing anyway. Anything that's going to happen is in the ether. It's in the stuff you can't see. That's where the struggle is. It's a metaphysical struggle. Metaphysical, as you know, I've been saying for a year or whatever, however long I've been doing this. It's not going to be a physical thing. You know, that's why, like, with all this the yeast stuff about the Jews and stuff, you know, I know people are getting upset about it. And on the one hand, it's like, yeah, we've been saying this stuff about them for years. But the problem is, all people think of is revenge or aggression. And you can't aggress on the beast. You can't, because they got the lockdown on aggression. You know, they run that shit. What are you going to do? Anything you do to these people, it just makes them stronger. It's like the fucking Emperor from Star Wars. You know, the more you hit them, they suck that stuff up and they hit you right back with it harder. It's a Chinese finger trap. The more you rage against it, the more stuck you are. You know? The answer to that, though, isn't very attractive to people. They don't want to hear that you have to kind of almost surrender to it, and that's how you beat it. You can't just use force against force. That's a losing battle. I mean, so to try to aggress against any of these people to gain revenge or, you know, start hanging people, you're dooming yourself. You know, it's just going to bring about your end much quicker than anything else. But you can't control people, though. You know, they're gonna, a lot of them, when they think, you know, they've been wronged or whatever, as we've seen in, you know, different countries over the years and political situations, it's like they, you know, they just, the first thing is to aggress physically, because that's just what people think. So there's just no way around it. I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You just kind of hope that they see something, that there's something more to this. You're not going to beat the beast, man. It's all about mitigation. Yeah, I'm still watching that Kanye situation. Like, every day they just take more stuff from him. I think what they're doing is establishing to people in public that, look, there is a limit to this criticism you guys have been, you know, hitting us with. You know, we will destroy you at some point, so chill out. That is what I think is happening. But like I said a few times, it's a tricky situation because they're letting out, you know, they're letting people be exposed to the information, people that might normally not have been, or certainly not have been. And, you know, when it comes to how normies are going to react to things, it's very nebulous the way that shit hits them. You know, you don't know. So it's like, yeah, it's a weird game they're playing. It's a dangerous one, you know, because once people feel that they've been duped or they've been cheated or wronged, it's kind of hard to get them to decelerate. But I think overall, I mean, of course, it's a psyop. I knew it was when they started talking about having the Floyd family sue him, because they don't really exist as they're presented to us. There is no family. Like there was, that whole situation was theater top to bottom. You know, those the two gentlemen involved knew each other for a long time. They worked at the same place. They worked in the same industry. They worked for the Masons. And so there is no one to sue anyone, much like the Alex Jones thing. There is no, I mean, I just did a whole thing about that with the parents and stuff going after him. And none of the people involved in that situation, including Alex Jones himself, are real in the sense that they are who they say they are or who they're presented to us as. They're all just chess pieces for made-up people to create a situation to then dictate to the unwashed masses how things are going to go. And you're not going to talk about this, because if you do, this happens. You're not going to talk. But the only thing they have to use to make these examples is all the fake shit. The problem is, you know, not everyone understands that it's all fake shit. And that's why, like, people like me are here. You know? No matter what our reach is, it's just something compels you to do this kind of stuff. Until you get dragged out of your house. So that's the only way this kind of thing ends, of course. But that's all right. I think we still got time. I still got time to unmask my plastic bullshit collection. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.